Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany, and today I want to talk about the green-eyed monster. I actually want to talk about comparison in life and business, and it's how it can get us really stuck and how to unstick ourselves from this comparison trap. So it's an interesting thing because I have had some conversations with people, and there seems to be a belief that once you make a certain level of success or you do a certain thing, that this comparison energy shifts and you don't ever compare yourself with anybody, and it's not true. The truth of it, at least for me, is that it never fully goes away. Okay. So someone else is always going to have more followers than you on social media. Someone is always going to have nicer jewelry or a better looking apartment, more money in their bank account. They're going to, have a better relationship on the outside. All of those things, there's always something better. And when we're looking at just that and not integrating it as a whole, it can be very crippling. So the key to moving through comparison, and you can compare someone on any level, is it should never be the reason why you don't try something, or you get down on yourself, or your effort, or the work that you've done, how far you've come, your life, your journey, your worth. Comparison, if that is what you're doing and you're not feeling good about yourself, this is where we run into trouble, and we create a lot of blocks, and we get really stuck, and sometimes we get down this spiral of comparison. So your worth, and I say this at the start of a lot of business training that I do with people, your worth is not equal to the number of followers you have on social media, or the money in your bank account, or the clothes that you wear, or the people you know. Nothing, period. Nothing can be measured externally with your worth. Nothing. So I hope that at least if you take one thing away from this, if it's just that your worth is not your number of followers, your number of subscribers, your number of likes, your number of anything. It all comes from within you. So when you find yourself coming down with that bad old comparison virus, here are some vitamin info bits to remember to remedy it. So I'm going to look at 4 main things that I want to share with you today. So the first one is that social media has filters for a reason. So working is not glamorous. Working for yourself is amazing, but work is not glamorous at all times. Often it's not. Often it's admin and doing the stuff that people wish they didn't have to do. It's doing the work. When we share on social media, we share what we want the world to see. So we're editing ourselves and our lives and our view. You're seeing this much of the whole 360 picture. It's not saying that I'm not saying that social media is lying, but it is a cropped view of someone's life and someone's business, and it's been seen through a specific lens. Okay, so you're seeing a very small amount of it. So this is a gentle reminder that whenever you see something on social media, or in fact many cases of life when you judge someone on a bus or you see something happening, know that you're only seeing a very small amount, and there's always so much more going on underneath. Social media is a wonderful way to connect with people all over the world and share our experiences, and I adore it. I'm on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Tumblr, and I'm all over the joint, and Twitter, and I love social media, and I've made some amazing friends on social media. But just don't let the fun get sucked out of it by obsessing over it and checking your followers every 15 seconds and comparing all your stuff. And it should be fun, and it should be a way that inspires you and connects you, not an obsession point. So your remedy for social media comparison is to remember that filters are not reality, and social media is not life. even if you have to mantra that. So, filters are not reality, and social media is not life. Life is what happens when we're not on social media often. So the second thing I want to talk about, which is extremely important, is success is relative, okay? We all want different, we all want different things in and out of life when it comes to success. We all don't want to run a multi-million-dollar company or jet set all over the world. Some of us like being at home. You don't have to kill yourself trying to reach that 6-figure trap that so many marketers try to sell as the pinnacle of success. And you won't be successful unless you do X, Y, Z. Well, I say to that. Success is personal and it is relative. Success to you may mean that you get to stay home and raise your children and work part-time. Success to you may mean getting promoted in your current job and being an amazing leader for a team of people in the corporate world. There's nothing wrong with that. Success to you may mean being able to put money away for a holiday or a new car or getting renovations on the house. Success to you may mean running your own empire and becoming the next Oprah. Whatever it is, define it for yourself and don't let anybody else do it, and work towards that. Work towards your definition of success. Something that I get a lot of my clients and my students to spend time on, and a lot of other business coaches do this too, I'm pretty sure like everyone does, is to define your level of success. So when you see people bragging about their 6-figure business on Facebook, usually through ads, trying to sell you their coaching programs, or you see a fellow biz friend land a book deal, which is what they have defined as a milestone of success for themselves. You don't have to go, oh, I need to go and get a book deal, or I need to write a book to be successful. That's how they're defining it, and that's fine, and that's their journey to success. But have your own. So what does it feel like? What does it look like? How will you know? Like, give yourself the little milestones and work on that. So your remedy for success shaming, because it's a real thing, is to get a clear vision of your version of success and use it as a roadmap. So if you are here and you want to be here, break it off into little chunks of like, well, when I'm doing this a month, or when I'm getting this a month, or when I've done this, that's a milestone. I'm going to celebrate that milestone, and it helps me move forward. If something comes along that is not going to help get you there, you can say no, knowing that you're not missing out. You're just saying no and staying true to your own vision. It's like that creepy fellow on Game of Thrones, Littlefinger, who says about how every decision he makes, he asks himself, will this get me to the Iron Throne? And if it's no, he doesn't do it. And if it's yes, he does. So it's kind of like, let's just be a little less creepy than that guy, but it works, if you're looking at it through the lens of your business. The next one is a big one that it's just a little shift in perspective that can have a massive difference. Don't compare your weaknesses with somebody else's strengths. So I can't sew for shit. I'm here to admit to you that I can do a many thing. I cook an amazing lasagna. I can play the flute. I can sing. I can do all sorts of stuff, but sewing ain't one of them. I am a disaster behind a sewing machine. I can't even sew a button. I am legit the worst. I wish I could. I'm addicted to Project Runway, and I would love nothing more to create something for myself. It's an amazing way to express your creativity, but knowing it's not a strength of mine, why would I compare the very few, very badly sewed things that I've ever done in my life with runway couture? I mean, why would I do that? It's madness. Sure, I could take lessons and spend years learning the craft and get better, but it does not come naturally for me. It's not a strength of mine. But things like writing and talking and photography and teaching, those things come really easy to me. I've always been able to talk to anyone and stand in front of large crowds and perform. That's just my innate natural strength. So I'd rather spend my time on the things that I'm good at naturally and that I really love than knocking my head up against the wall doing something I'm not good at and kind of being meh about it and then being untrue to my vibe anyway. So I see it through the lens of, if I'm not strong at something in my business, I have some options. I can get good at it. I can invest my time, my energy, my money, all that kind of stuff and get good at it. Get someone else who's really good at it to do it for me or outsource it or to help me, or don't do it altogether. Depending on how mission critical it is to my business will depend on the choice that I make, but I do have choices. You do not have to be good at everything, because what a boring world that would be. So you can ask yourself, are you doing the same thing in your business? Or your life? Are you trying to compare your weakness with somebody else's strength? Cut yourself a little bit of slack. Your cure for your weak link criticism is to focus on what you're good at and enjoy that, and make a plan for everything else that is mission critical. So learn to love your weaknesses as an opportunity for you to create space for more of your strength. And the next one is your path, your journey. So no one else is going to experience their road to success in the same way. We all have different lessons to learn and all have different obstacles to overcome. No one made it overnight either. Accepting that your path to success is going to be as unique as you are is a powerful step. It is true that we often come up against the same problems and may face similar fears in regards to what each entrepreneur comes up against, but our strengths, beliefs, lessons, and backgrounds are going to see that we challenge and face them differently. Life is way too short and way too precious to care so much about the end game and the money, to hate every minute of it, to not take some time off and enjoy the journey, or to treat the journey as less important as the goal. When you find yourself looking at someone who has not had the same obstacles as you in reaching their goals, it can get hard to not get resentful and blocked. So I'm not talking about the real issue of equity here that people do face, because there can be institutional structures that are set up for people to fail. That is an absolute real thing. I'm more talking about when a friend lands a gig on their first try and you're still waiting for that to happen after many attempts. Those sorts of things where it's just like, come on, man, I've been doing this forever. Or this person's only been doing it for X amount and they seem more successful than I do. What am I doing wrong? That kind of stuff. Enjoy the journey, and when it's hard, level up from your mistakes and struggles wherever you can. I have been thinking about this for a long time. So the goddess never gives me anything I cannot handle. I can see it as a challenge, an opportunity, or I can let it permanently derail me. Ultimately, the choice and the path is mine. I choose how I go down this path. I choose to enjoy the journey, and I choose to keep on that journey, even when I do hit obstacles. So something that, the last little point I wanted to make, and something that has just been golden for me, is what to do when you're green. And my friend Sharon shared this with me, and I really want to share it with everyone as well, because we're only human and we're going to get jealous from time to time. And this is a mantra that I've used many times, and I heard it from a creatrix lady called Sarah Hart, and I'm paraphrasing here, but she says something along the lines of, when you see somebody else's success online, or when you see somebody else's success, it is really that person showing what is possible for you if you want it. So that turns into, for me, thank you for showing me what is possible for me in my business. Amazing, right? So we've quickly, without any tools, without having to do anything, we can just sit there and look at this person's success and go, thank you for showing me what is possible for me in my business. That's incredible. Congratulations. So it's so much better than spiraling into a comparison coma, because you can see it as an opportunity. So the last thing to remember is, all this stuff is, as much as you can get empowered on it, jealousy creates blocks and not opportunities. So you want to nip it in the bud as quickly as possible to transform that energy. Allow it some time, because remember, what we resist persists. So acknowledge it and allow yourself to feel it, and then get to the root of why, and then use some of these tools to move, or any other tools to move past it and transform it. So I hope you found this valuable, and even if there was one thing you can take away from today, I'm super glad. And I want to know, what do you do when it comes to comparison? Has it really hit you in a certain time? If you found it's gone away or it gets worse, Let's chat about comparison in life and business, and getting stuck by those sorts of energies. And thank you so much for watching.